Hello, people. Is any
Hello.
is anyone there in cyberspace? Is
This is Molly. I'm here.
awesome. Hey, Molly.
It's
I
been a
see.
long time.
Yes.
Um, I don't think I've been in class for like maybe 3 months.
Oh my gosh. Well, my internet was acting goofy, but I think we're okay now. So I'm just gonna proceed. I thought the world rhythms thing would be kind of fun to do and play, because I know you like to play. So we're just gonna jump right in here. First of all, I'm wearing a Christmas cat shirt because, it's December, so I guess it's okay to do that. Um, and I dressed up the bears. I'll show you them real quick and then we'll move on. But we had a whole bunch of new Halloween outfits, but we never got to see them yet, so I'll have to wait till next another time. But so Little Bear has got a Santa hat on, and his says "Let's get lit." So he's got his decorations on, and then of course Big Bear, he barely fits into his outfit. Couldn't find the Santa hat. Whoops, we gotta have the glasses because it's just not as cool. So he's got his glasses and his little Santa outfit. He does have some boots too. I need to put the boots on with the Santa outfit and the little hat. So that's what they're doing today. So I'm going to share my screen and we're just going to jump right into the PowerPoint, which I think you'll like. And here we go. Let's see. Before I do that, let me do one other quick thing. Let's see here. Hey, Jasmine. Jasmine's there too. She looks frozen, but she's there, I believe. Okay, so let's see. Back to sharing my screen. Oh, I am sharing my screen. You can see that. Okay. Well, here we go. So, slide number 1. I thought we would talk about world rhythms and the different. I like these little charts that they have. And so, I figured we'd start with this next one. I should try to get this to be a little bit bigger, but it
Ooh,
always looks
ooh,
different.
ooh,
Oh,
ooh,
yeah.
ooh,
There you are.
ooh,
So, yeah, let's go over these instruments because these are the ones that are in the
ooh.
charts. Yay! So, what does anybody remember the name of this one that I'm circling?
Uh,
Can you see
uh,
the
well, clave?
claves? Exactly. And how about this?
Where are you? Oh,
Um,
oh, that's the tambourine.
tambourine. Okay, this one. Here's a tricky one. It looks like a conga, but it's narrow. I had to look this
That
one up too.
I have no idea.
And I have one of these, which I'll show in a minute, but it is from Brazil and it's called a timbal or timbal. And it's very similar. The person who wrote these little charts kind of wrote it for either this instrument or the djembe, which they're quite different. But anyway, it's a timbal, I believe is how it's pronounced. How about this one up here?
Oh, that's a triangle.
Oh, yeah, easy. How about this one?
Cowbell.
Cowbell. This one looks like a floor tom, but it has a special name. It's also from Brazil, and it's called a surdo, Surdo. It's kind of cool. And then
Mhm.
below it, let's see, down here, this is a shakere, but it could be any shaker. I just picked this one for the picture. How about this right up here?
That's a guiro.
Guiro. How about this one?
I don't know that one. That looks like that big drum they played during the Messiah, actually.
Yeah, it's called a frame drum.
Hmm.
It's a frame drum. I actually have one of those too. And then down here, let's see. I can't tell where my pointer's going, but below the frame drum, what do you think that is? Let's see. Right here,
Bongos?
bongos. How about this right here?
Oh, that I don't remember. I know you've shown that to us before.
Yes, and I've got one of those we're going to play today, or I'll play and you play whatever you've got. It's a go-go bells,
Hmm.
Latin, and it's a high instrument and a low instrument. How about this one here, made out of usually aluminum, sometimes clay. They can be different sizes. This one's pretty big, and I have one of these also I'll demo.
Is that one the djembe?
No, it's called a Doumbec, Doumbec, or a
Oh,
darbuka. We've talked about it at times, but
cool.
yeah, it's kind of cool. It's oftentimes from Middle Eastern countries, Pakistan. Mine is from Pakistan. How about these right here?
Well, I keep wanting to say castanets, and I know that's not what that is. Uh,
Feel
it's the
free.
one that has rice inside.
Yeah, maracas,
Maracas.
maracas. And let's see, how about this one up here? And
That
Molly,
I do not
join
know.
in. Oh, Molly can't see anything, so doesn't know what we're doing. Okay, that's a cajon that you sit on, and I will send you the link to all this afterwards. So I'll put it on YouTube, and so for Molly who can't maybe see some of this, you could watch it afterwards. That's a cajon. You sit on it. I have a small one here that's an octacajon. It's like shaped like a little differently. You don't sit on it, and mine has little snares inside. How about this one right here? I had to look this one up myself.
That I've never seen before.
So it's African bells, but it has a special name, Akote,
Huh.
and it's on our little chart here. But you could use any kind of bells. I've got one on my wall behind me that has a double bell, so it's kind of cool. And then this is the
Conga?
no, that's the djembe. Oh, you
Oh,
might be
that's the
looking at the
djembe.
yeah. So this one that's got the strings is the djembe, and this one over
Okay.
here is kind of just like a big bass drum, or sometimes this one even could be like the surdo. And they all look a little bit different, but I just wanted to go through the instruments because then when we go to our next slide, if I can get over there, come on, go over one, trying to advance. Oh, I had so much technical difficulty, and usually my internet's much better. Today was, of course, the day that it acts up. Okay, if I can get this slide to advance, I don't like this, um, the way this display is. Let me just. Okay, that's not it. Oh, here we go. I don't know. For whatever reason. Here we go. So, this is the Native American one that I will pull it up and play. And that's why I sent it to you ahead of time because I know it's kind of small. But basically, they've got it for cowbell, tambourine, shaker, guiro, clave, triangle, and then a go-go bells, bongos, the djembe, the timbao, which we just looked at, the tubano, that's the one that looks like that um, the one that we had the previous slide that was real colorful. That one could be a tubano, or sometimes they call that one a surdo, but it's just kind of like a little bass drum or a floor tom, the frame drum. And so this is kind of the Native American little chart. And I really like how they did this. Basically, they have the X's you play, the where it's nothing you don't play, and they basically this one's very slow, and it's just one and two and three and four and then they also have these different notes, which we'll kind of go through really kind of quickly. I like to transfer this into more notation that I'm used to seeing. And so, oh, here we go. So I kind of condensed this down and I tried to put right next to each thing here. So, like, here's the cowbell tambourine, and it's basically just going to be on the one, the two, the three, and the four. The shaker or the guiro is a rest, 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 and then you either go away on the guiro or toward yourself. And they wanted it away, away by the little arrows in the previous chart. I just found that this was a little bit easier to digest than that other chart with all the little boxes. The clave triangle is a rest, two and three, four and we're going to play all of these. The djembe, which is, here's our nice picture over here, or it could be a medium drum. You can play in the center, and then the edge is all of these notes. So our rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And the center is more of that bass tone where you take your palm. In a moment, I'll demonstrate these. You play in the center, and then the edge, you play on the edge, and much more of a high-pitched. And there is an accent on count 3. And then the large drum, the bass drum, here's our, either our surdo or whatever you want to call this. They've called it a couple of different things. It's on the 1 and the 4 and then, of course, the agogo bells here, the rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And again, 3 is accented, but it's low, 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 high, low, low. So what I thought we would do is I can pull up the music. So I might have to end the show here so I can get my music pulled up. And we're going to play each of these parts. And I'll play them on the real thing, and you play them on whatever you've got or clap along. And hopefully this will be pretty cool. So let's see. I might want to have to mute you both. And okay, so let's get rid of that and find had all this opened up earlier. The Native American, hopefully it's not going to be too loud. I'm going to start with playing the cowbell, I'm going to play the cowbell part along with this. Okay, so in a moment here, I'm going to, let me find my cowbell. I've got instruments everywhere. And so hopefully you can see me also and the screen. Okay, so I've got my little, oops. Okay. All right, so I've got my cowbell. Hopefully the screen is pointing at me. I can't see myself. I am going to play the cowbell part or the tambourine part, and you just clap along or play whatever you have. So here we go. It's loading up, takes a minute. There we go. So that's pretty easy. We just have to find the pulse and play along, either with the tambourine or the cowbell. Now, the next thing that's on here is the shaker or the güiro. I'm going to do the güiro, and we're going to go away, away. So here's an example of the güiro. Hopefully you can see this because I can't see what my screen is seeing. And it's either toward myself or away. And in this case, they want away, away on 4 and. So it's going to be rest, 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 rest. Okay, so let's play the music and play along. Feel free to pretend or scrape something or do whatever you got. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You get the idea on that one. Okay, the next one, we got the clave or the triangle. I'll do the claves. So we've got our little claves here. And on this one, we're resting on 1. We're playing on 2 and 3, 4 and. So it's going to be like rest, rest, 2 and 3, 4 and. So with the music. Rest, 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 rest. Okay, perfect timing on that. It ended our little soundtrack, which we'll have to start again. The next drum the next instrument is going to be our djembe. And I wanted to go through some of the tones on the djembe. Let me find it. I've got kind of a bigger one here. So here's my djembe, and I'm gonna put my screen down, and I hope you can see something. Okay, so basically, there's several different tones. There's the bass tone, which is sort of in the center or just off to the center. And it's more of a deep, lower tone, and it's just with the palm of the hand. Then there's that's called that's the bass tone. In a minute, I have a nice slide explaining this. Then you've got the slap tone. That's a really high-pitched. And then you've got, I'm not a djembe expert by any stretch of the imagination. There are people who study this their whole lives. But this just gives you an idea of there's different tones. There's also, in a minute, my slide will be better explained. I have a picture of where your hand placement is. But for this one, I'm just going to make it really simple. And we're going to have center and edge. And so it's going to be like... 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then we want to try to put in that accent on 3. So it's going to be 1. 1. So let's try that with the music. Back to the beginning of our tune. Ready, go. Just going to pause that. I'm going to let Barb in. Okay, so that's kind of that. The next thing, we've got this large drum. It's sort of the bass sound. And I guess I'm going to use the bucket for this just because it's readily available. I didn't drag out a floor tom, but I could have. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold my bucket here. I'm going to turn my bundle sticks over. And it's basically on count 1 and then 4 and. So it's going to be like 1, rest, rest, 4 and 1, rest, rest, 4 and 1. So let's try that rhythm along with our soundtrack. Come on. Might have to start it over again.
I'm in.
Okay, awesome. Let's see here. We're playing the Native American beat. We're playing the large drum. Maybe. I don't know why I can't hear it. Let me start over again. Maybe it needs to load up. I'll give it a minute. And then the fun thing would be everybody picks a different part. You know, if we were live, we could actually play this and we could switch instruments, and that would be really fun and cool. Okay, why is it? Okay, here we go. I don't know why I don't hear it all of a sudden. Something happened. Well, let me get all the way out, get all the way back in. Everything looks the same. Where's my soundtrack? It looks like it's playing. Oh, I gotta turn it up. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit more. All right, we're on line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Large drum. 1, 2, here we go. 1, rest, rest. 4 and 1, rest, rest. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Okay, so you get the idea how that goes. And now, pause it a little bit. Let me bring it back a little bit. Okay. Last one is our agogo bells. Our agogo bells. Let's see if I can get my screen to point sort of in the direction. I hope you can see them. They're right here. And basically, you'll notice that on the agogo bells, one is lower pitched and one is higher pitched. So this one's lower, this one's higher, okay? And so our rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, just like our rhythm was for the djembe part. We still have that accent on 3, but you want to go low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low, low. And along with the tune, we'll sound like this. Here we go. And so on. All right, questions about the Native American rhythms.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's like you recognize the rhythm. It's like, oh yeah, that is what it sounds like. Yeah, especially the frame drum one, or the go-go bells.
Yeah, you could actually hear some of the
great.
shaker. They weren't always playing all the way through, but you could hear it at times. So let's jump to the next one, because I'd like to try to go through several of these. So these are ones that they, and these aren't like classics, but they're just sort of an example of maybe some Japanese rhythms. So again, we've got mainly the same instruments that we've had before and all the same key. If we go to the next slide, I think it's just a little easier to digest. I tried to decorate it. I know it's not perfect, but you can kind of see. Let's go through each one of these. So let's start with the djembe part. So the djembe part is basically, now this one's going to be quite a bit faster. And the djembe part is going to have 1 ianda, 2 ianda, 3 ianda, 4 ianda. And to read my own writing. So yeah, I'm going to put this down. Hopefully you can see it. So we're going to accent on count 1, 2, 3, 4 in the center of the drum. And it's going to be like 1 ianda, 2 ianda, 3 ianda, 4 ianda, 1 ianda, 2 ianda, 3 ianda, 4 ianda is how the djembe part's going to go. And I don't remember the tempo exactly, but we'll know in a minute when we play this how fast this has to go. And you could think of, if you have trouble with 1 ianda, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and designate 2 places on your leg or your table. And if you're right-handed, it's always going to be, the accent's going to be with your right hand. If you're left-handed, it's always going to be your left hand. But it's basically just 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the first part. The next part is our clave part. Where are the claves? Here they are. Okay, claves is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's pull up the soundtrack to see how fast we're going to have to be doing this. Because I remember it was pretty fast. Okay, so here we go. We're going to play the clave part. Maybe. One, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 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 2, 3, and 4. And so it's pretty fast. Now that djembe part is going to be, and I can always slow any of these down and send a slower version, but I wanted you to hear the authentic version. So the djembe part's going to be, along with the music, let's try how it sounds. 2, here we go. pretty quick. So, and I can slow these down, but that's the hardest part, is the djembe part. Let's go back to the shaker or the tambourine. So let's see, I've got a shaker here that, well, I've got some fruit shakers. These will be fun to play. So they look like, you know, my apple and my banana. And so the tambourine, these are kind of showing you like, you know, up and down, but with a shaker, you know, away or toward. Basically, it's going 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4 eanda, 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4 eanda. Maracas, you could do maracas. And so it's, oh, I'm sorry, no, we're just, oh yeah, we are doing 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4 eanda. But if you wanted to just do, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that would work. But they're kind of wanting 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda. So it's the same part as the djembe, but with 2 hands and shakers. And they don't really have an accent, but you could accent 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And when I play shakers, I imagine my knuckles hitting the wall. So it's pretty much just like playing this way, but going the opposite way. And I kind of want to pulse it. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, check it, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, getting on to the güiro or the cowbell part. You can pick whatever one. This is where you're going to be doing the 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, and let's see. You could go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, or away 1 and a 2 and a. Either way, they don't really, I'd have to go back and see the chart if they designated what they wanted. But basically, it's going to be, you know, rest, 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 rest. So let's see how that might fit with the tune. One, two, 1, 2, ready, and. We could go just do ands. 1. That's probably easier. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So we could do the rest, 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 rest. But if you can get that second one, rest, 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 rest. And I can slow this one down if you like, but I wanted it to be, you know, somewhat accurate to what, you know, they designated as our rhythm. If we go to the agogo bell part, it's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, so it's low and high. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. So let's just try that with the music. And if that's too much, just, you know, just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And then if you can get that other note in there. So I would start off, you know, finding the rhythm, then add this in between, and then squeeze that in if you can, is really what's going on. Let's see, let's try it with this one. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. So you could do this, or just this. So that's what's happening with that. Okay. And then the last one is our bass. Bass is just going to be nice, keeping a nice, steady beat. This is the easiest one of all, but super important. So if you have your bucket or whatever, let's try this. Whoops. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, Okay, you get the idea. So that's kind of, I'll pause that. So that's kind of the one that they designating as the Japanese rhythm. Let's go on to the next one. Maybe. Oh, let's go this way. Okay, reggae, totally different. A lot of the same instruments. The only one that might be a little different, they have that a toki bell, a toke bell. They have bongos, or it could be a go-go bell. They basically have the same part. They have the cajon or the bucket. They have the timbale or the tubano. They have the doumbek or the djembe or both. They are a little bit, yeah, they're exactly the same. And then they have the timbao or the tubano, the frame drum or the sordo. So they have some different ones. So my version of it is here. I've got the reggae sort of colors going on, the bucket here, the cajon. So the very first one is in reggae music, a lot of it is on the upbeat or the offbeat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so the very first thing is the shaker is on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, or if I had a tambourine, I could hit the tambourine. So let's kind of listen. It's going to be a little slower, luckily. Here we go. One and 2 and 4 and 2 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 4 and 4. Okay, so not too bad. It's nice and slow, but it's different than being on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The next thing is 2 and 4 on our clave or our cowbell. Let's try that. 2 and 4 shouldn't be too hard. Rest, play, rest, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's not too bad. Now the güiro, our old friend. Where is my güiro stick? Oh, here it is. Okay, now this is kind of like that rhythm we had previously, but it's a little slower. And they want it away toward. So it's rest, 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 rest. Boom, boom, boom. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. And if that's a lot to do, you could just do the ands again, kind of like the shaker tambourine. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. But if you can get that other one in there. So let's try that with our music. So first the ands. And so on. So that's kind of the güiro part. The go-go part is similar to the previous rhythm. So some of these rhythms are super common, but you hear how they're totally different when you're in a different genre. So like a lot of these rhythms are common among different cultures and things like that, but it has a totally different flavor. So I don't know, I'm hoping you can see this. So the rhythm is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. You can think of this as strawberry, 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 strawberry. So along with the tune, 2, here we go. Okay. So the next thing is the bucket or the cajon. So I do have a little cajon that I can show you. So this one is kind of cool because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they called it an octa cajon. It was only out for a little while. LP put this out. Mine has little snares inside, so it's got a little hole. And it's played kind of, you can put it, I always found that it was difficult to play because it slides out of my legs. But mine has a little bit of a snare sound. I'm hoping you can see this. But it could be the bucket, and what we have is 1 E and a 2, 3 and a 4, 1 E and a 2, 3 and a 4. So if we put the music on, 2, here we go. Sounds. The bucket would sound pretty good with that as well. And then our last instrument, we have, some kind of bass on 3. So really not anything too terrible. Just rest, rest, play, rest, 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 play, rest. So with the music, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. And all these kind of, go together really nicely. And you could modify and mix and match and switch instruments and rhythms. Questions about this one? Kind of cool?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, good. I'm going to keep going. And then hopefully the idea would be you guys have this. I'll send you this PowerPoint, and then you'll have the music, and you could, play along. Pick an instrument, pick a tune, and play it, or play whatever you want. Change it up. The African one is a little harder. Pretty much the same instruments, nothing really new or different here. They do talk about the bass tone, the slap tone, the muted slap, some of these. I did do an extra little slide, again, very cursory. This is not meant to be a djembe lesson or anything because I am not a djembe player really. So the slap, it's a high-pitched sound, hit the edge of the drum, slight curve of your fingers. This is kind of showing you how a slap might look. I like this picture because you can kind of see, oh yeah, it's just my fingertips and it's real high-pitched. The bass, it's the lowest, it's in the center or just off the center with sort of this part of your hand, kind of the full heavy palm, getting that nice bass tone. Then the tone is sort of medium pitched. It's kind of like not quite, it's a little bit more of the fingers, not as much, you can just kind of see by these pictures. I think these really help a lot. The muted slap. So there's a couple of ways that could be done. One is, hopefully you can see this, you do a normal, a normal slap, but you keep your hand down so it stays down instead of hitting it and coming off. You can hear that ringing. This one is, or you can put your other hand and then just come off, makes that higher pitch sound. So they kind of have that in some of these. It's a little bit more intermediate kind of stuff, but I just kind of put that in there. For our purposes, I think just getting the rhythm is good. So these are the African ones. So let's start with, this is my notation. Their notation can be a little, I like it, but it can be a little complicated. So I kind of translated it into what makes sense to me musically. So it's the 1, it's not the E and the and, but it's the ah. So 1,
Your mother's still in town?
Yeah, she is for a little while.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, And if we're doing the güiro, they kind of tell us they want it, well, we can do whatever we want. Away. Oh, it looks like. So it's kind of like away toward away, toward away, toward away, toward away. And this one is sort of 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. And this one is quite fast, and I did send you the slower version, but let's take it kind of medium. So this could be the shaker or the güiro. And just to kind of listen to this one a bit, let me open it up. I'm going to do the slow version. Got to give it a second to load up. Come on. Oh, here we go. One, two, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Even the slow is pretty fast. Okay, or we could do shaker. So you can kind of hear how that's going fairly quickly. If we look at the triangle or the tambourine, I do have a triangle here. Usually triangle is nowhere near African music, but this is just kind of a way you could get a bunch of people together to kind of learn some rhythms, not necessarily the correct instruments. But our our triangle is going to be kind of like that rhythm we saw not too long ago. So the strawberry, strawberry. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. And if we played that along. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. So it's fast. And this is the slowed down version. So, pretty quick stuff. If we go to the next slide, we've got the Agogo bells. So here's our Agogo bells again. The rhythm is bump, 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 bump. 1 and it's just easier to, I'm just going to sing it rather than say the uhs and the ands. So da, 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 low, high, high, low, low, high, high, low. So it's going to go. Let's see, I got to look at it. Let's see. I want to try to look at it while I'm playing it, but I'll look over here and try to. And if we try to play that along, 2, here we go. Ba 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 ba. So that's kind of the go-go part. Then we got our clave part, which if you look at it carefully, it's the exact same rhythm. And it's a little easier because you're only having to play in one spot, not two different things, but it's the same rhythm. So that one's not too bad. If we go to the last African thing, we've got our djembe, which is playing again, just this, we're gonna go with the center and the edge. So we've got so it's 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and it's fast. So with the music, let's try it. Okay, music ended a little bit there. The last one is our large bass drum of some kind. We could use our bucket, which would work out really great. And the rhythm is just 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3. So this one's going to be a lot more doable. Let's play our soundtrack. Come on, soundtrack. Okay, here we go. Here we go. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3. Now, what if we played the fast soundtrack? Because this one's the slow one after all. Let's hear how this was really meant to be played. Okay, let's try what they really wanted before I slowed it down. Oops. There it was. Okay. Oh, no, that's still that one. Let's find. Takes a minute for it to load. Here we go. Now the djembe part, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And our previous, I'm just going to clap these. And the previous one, so you can see it's fast, and then the one down below here, I'll just play it on djembe. So you get the idea. So it's lots going on this one for sure. And our last one that we'll do today is our Latin rhythms. Same sort of instruments, nothing new or different really here. Here's my rendition of it. So the güiro or the tambourine, we have just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not too terrible. The shaker or the cowbell. 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could hit the cowbell, boom, boom. So that's going to be pretty easy. The claves, we kind of have a little bit of that same sort of rhythm. 1, and 4. 1, 1 and 4. And if you look kind of at the previous little chart, you can see where how this kind of fits in. But that's the rhythm that you want to know. And so let's just do that one along with our soundtrack. Come on, soundtrack. Your internet connection is unstable. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. So it's much slower. And 4. Our shaker. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our güiro. Okay, so let's stop that and look at the agogo part. This one's a little bit more complicated. It's got some 16th notes. The rhythm is 1, let's see. One, and E and ba da da, ba da da da. But where you want it, high, high, low, low, high, high, low, low. So if we played that to our soundtrack, 2, 1, here we go. Okay, and then if we do the djembe part, we've got, or actually I'm going to do the doumbek. I'm going to hold it like a djembe. It's usually held like this, but I'm going to hold it like this. This is a really beautiful instrument, and I have to show you that timbal in a minute too. I'm going to play the djembe part though, so it's center, E, and So with the soundtrack, and actually let me try it. This was kind of boomy. Let me try the timbal. The Brazilian, this has actually got an animal head on it. Beautiful drum. Hand carved. Super gorgeous. And you can see the shape. It's not shaped like a djembe. I'm not sure how this one's going to sound because this is a little bit not as tight, but sounds kind of terrible actually. This is an older drum and this head is very stretched. I'm going to go back to my djembe, which this one is very nice sound. So if I play that with the Latin soundtrack, 1, 2, ready. So that's that one. And if we go to our last part down at the bottom, on our bucket, our bass, 1, 2, 3. It's almost like a samba. When you play a samba on a drum set, this is your bass drum. So that's got a nice, and you can always just, if none of this makes any sense to you, quarter notes. Our old friends. 1, 2. We're dancing around. Just got a splinter in my hand there. All right. So that's kind of what I put together for you. So I will send this PowerPoint, and I might slow down the Japanese rhythm. But, I would just encourage you to look at these rhythms, pick an instrument or just clap your hands and try to hear what you're hearing and play along and see if you can, make some music out of it. So any questions? I know we're going a little late, but we started late.
I absolutely loved this.
Oh, good.
This is great. I mean, yeah.
I love it too. I love the sound of some of the bigger instruments. I love the whole thing.
Oh, good.
Just hope I didn't miss too much.
No, and so
I'm having to sit in my car to do this.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry.
I know, it's weird.
And I think we might have, Molly's still there, but I don't think she can see some of it. So anyway, I'll send it to you. I'll make a video of this, and I'll slow down the Japanese thing, and I'll send you the PowerPoint. And then maybe we'll reconvene in the new year. I think it's going to be too busy in December for everybody. Reconvene and maybe play along with this. Write down questions. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, which ones were hard. And just experiment, play along with them, and come up with your own stuff, and then give me ideas, and we'll resume in the new year. Does that sound like a plan?
Karen, can you hear me? This is Molly.
Yes.
Okay. That guy that fell off the roof, did we do anything to honor him in the class?
The guy that fell off the roof.
one, the roll off guy? Did he
Oh,
fall off a roof or fall
yeah.
off a ladder?
He
Uh-huh.
died. Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
no, yeah, yeah.
We
And I'm
could
wondering.
definitely- Go ahead.
I was thinking, I would like to play. There's that YouTube video of him playing the tango. Bum 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 da 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 da. That one.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe we could play that just in honor of him or in memory of him.
Sure. The tango one? Did he write
Yeah,
that?
tango.
'Cause I think somebody else
No, he
wrote
did.
that.
No,
I think
he,
Freitag. Did
yeah,
he write?
Freitag wrote it, but he plays it in the video.
Okay. Okay. We could maybe do something like that. And then what? Record it like individually, or what were you thinking?
I was just thinking that we could all just, sit in our own little living rooms wherever we are and just play it along with the music. I wasn't thinking
Sure.
about making a big production. I just think, I just thought
Okay.
it would be just to honor his memory.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll I will come up with something where we can maybe play that and dedicate it to him. That'd be awesome. I can pull that one out. And we didn't get to Jingle Bells. We were going to, but I was like, well, we got enough here to do. But we can always, even though it's January, we can always play Jingle Bells. We can play the tango. We can play any of this stuff. So yeah, I love that idea. That sounds great.
Thanks. Good.
Have a great holiday
You
season.
too. You too.
If you
Be
come
safe.
back to Atlanta, let me go. I'm going to be there all winter.
Okay, I probably won't, but enjoy the holidays, and we'll see you all in the new year. See you in the new year.
Thank you. I appreciate all the effort you put into everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're welcome. So, hey, our little guy says, "Get lit." All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.